All right, what's going on, guys? So some exciting stuff happening right now. If you've been following me for a long time, you know that I've been talking about a season of exposure followed by justice. And so all the things that have been hidden will come to light, and everybody that has been involved in all these crimes against humanity, the globalist agendas, and all the stuff that people have deemed as conspiracy theory, those things will come to light. And so I'm not here in this video to make allegations and conjecture and all these different things, but I'm here to tell you what people have said, what is actually factual in terms of what's coming out. But I also have a deeper knowledge of the research and all these different things that people may have skepticism over because they think it's a bunch of baloney, because it's not in the mainstream media, it's not been reported publicly by the bigger figures. And so we're in a time now where, especially with the Durham, the Sussman case, the things that have been in the trial documents and in the court documents are being brought to light, and it's being reported on. And so things that have been deemed as Russian disinformation or conspiracy with the Apple Bank hoax and all the ties to Clinton and the emails and all the different accusations, these are being brought to light. And you've seen this past week with all the testimony and the cross-examination, the Clinton campaign lawyer, Robbie Mook, testifying that essentially Hillary Clinton has signed off on what was this alleged connection of Trump to the Russia's Alpha Banks before the 2016 election. And so all this stuff combined with the election fraud allegations, as well as all the other things with the Russia, the Ukraine, the globalist movement with the health stuff, and many other things, right? And this week is the WHO stuff, and many of the stuff that people have kind of brushed off, now it's being brought so that people that are regular society, citizens, they're able to digest it properly in at least in a palpable way, so that slowly they can get themselves into this aspect of questioning it, researching it, and then trying to find out for themselves. And so we're in a season, guys, where it's not really about getting massive, immediate justice happening right now, but people have to wake up, and there is a greater movement of a great awakening that's happening, so that people from the grassroots level, from the bottom up, they would come out and seek and desire for righteousness, for justice, and for the restoration of America, of the Constitution, and all these different things that people have been fighting for, but they have been not really taking serious because they just think the people at the top, they're good, we've elected the right people, and yada, 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 right? But we know a lot of people that have done the research, we know that there's a connection, and there's different things that happen behind the scenes. And so what's happening now, guys, with all of the movement in the Durham trial and the next trial in Virginia, and many of the things that are happening in DC, people are looking at it and they're thinking, oh, there's no movement, it's gonna fade away, and they're making all these assumptions on what they believe might happen and the outcome of this trial, right? And so I'm here to say that I don't want to say it's coincidence, but there seems to be more of a concerted effort among the good guys, if you want to call them the patriots, and all these different people with everything that's happening with the media, the Elon Musk stuff, the mainstream media, if you want to call it the bullhorn of the tech companies and the ability to get news out there, all these different things, they're seemingly lining up. You have documentaries coming out like the 2000 Meals. You have all these different movements of people trying to get themselves in position to have what seems to be this precipice of unleashing all of the different things, possibly lots of indictments, possibly mass arrests, and all this stuff. But what's very clear, and I've said this prophetically in the dreams that I've had and all the things that the Lord has shown me, is that there's an involvement with the military at some point. And it seems more and more clear that has to be the case. And even this week with the Supreme Court and the possible decision coming out with the abortion, the Roe versus Wade essentially being overturned, and the protection that's increasing for these justices, there may be, and there's some allegation or possible rumors going around that the National Guard might be activated to prepare and protect what might be riot control and all these different things that might happen. And so all the things that are kind of lining up, it may be a prelude And it may be a preemptive protection and movement so that these new things that are going to come out with regards to the Durham stuff and possibly with the direction that it's going with Clinton and the tie to all these bigger people, the DNC, even you got Obama, you got big time guys, right? That if this is allegedly true, then you're going to see some big repercussions with possibly uproars, riots, all these different things. And then especially with the problem in the inflation, the economic, the supply chain, and all the stuff that's happening that may lead to this crossroads. And it's all coming to a head, right? And if this happens, and again, I'm in one way speculating, in another way, it seems like this is the direction it's going. But if that's the case, then we're going to see a lot of military involvement. I don't see it any other way than because of the slow court cases and the inability for the legal and the justice system to be able to properly step up and do what they need to do in time, especially before the midterms. And if it is with the election fraud stuff within the 22-month period and all the stuff that's happening, there has to be something that's going to happen if this is the case that this election was stolen and the military and all the people had caught it, then something has to happen before the midterms, and especially with all the stuff that's coming out with Durham. So everything, it seems, is tied with the timing, but is it that it's coming out slowly and then all of a sudden everything is going to come out at once because of the way it's so interconnected? And with Durham and the way his court case, filings are, if this is a broader conspiracy to have a global, sinister sort of connected activity to undermine democracy, undermine the Constitution, undermine the presidency, then you're seeing something that is very serious, guys. So all the stuff that's happening now, the allegations in the Durham with what Hillary and these guys are doing, this is tantamount to treason, guys. It's worse than Watergate. It's worse than all these different small things that have happened. If the allegations and what's been done is true, the tie to foreign entities and all these different things, then it's treason, what's happening, guys. And again, I'm not saying that this is true or not. I'm saying that the possibility, if it is true, and again, I have my opinion on this, but if it is true, then this would have to involve military action because there's a constitutional crisis. And so, guys, right now, I've told you guys what the Lord has shown me. I'm not going to say that I know the timing of it, but what's certain is that it's all coming to a head, guys. And we're at a crossroads, and there's a lot of things that people have to do. You can't just sit back and just relax and say, oh, hey, everything's good and it's going to be taken care of. It's going to work out. I'll say that. It's going to work out. God has a great plan for this nation. God has a great plan for the people of this world, the Christians especially. But it's a time, like I've said before, where people are being shaken awake so that they can stand up to take action. And so this is what's happening, guys. So everyone's looking at the small things like, oh, well, the judges and the district of, Washington, D.C., it's not good because it's all leaning towards Democratic and Clinton and all this different stuff. And these people, they're not going to judge properly, the jury and all these different things. And everyone's complaining about the small things. But again, guys, the guys that are working behind the scenes, the patriots, digital soldiers, all the people that are in military, whoever's doing and pulling these strings to get people in what would arguably be a massive sting operation. If they're doing these things, they would know the small things, guys. And they're into the weeds of everything. We're here only exposed to the small little things, but there's something deeper than this. So Durham is not sitting there stupid thinking, oh, we should have done this in a different district. Oh, I shouldn't have chosen these jury members or whatever it is. He's done this for a very long time. And there's a rhyme and a reason for why Sussman is coming out first. And there's a little bit coming out at a time, and then possibly a bigger thing that's going to happen all at once, possibly. Because the timing of everything, it's going to be such that if you do one guy at a time, then the enemy, in a sense, the people that are conspiring, they have time to react. And so the military, like I've said before, guys, as I've given prophetic words before, they're going to do things in almost a one big kind of swoop thing. So it may not be in one day, but it's going to be in a short amount of time. And so I think that there's some time, some grace given for the legal system, the people, and the court system to really do something about it. But if not, then the military will have to step in. Because if the accusations and all these different things, the allegations are true, then it is really a crisis, a constitutional crisis. It's tantamount to treason, guys, and it's going to have way bigger implications than one would realize. And so that's why these guys, they're doing it in a strategic way, and they're going to have to step in at some point. So I'm of the belief, guys, that it's happening soon. If there is this huge, massive arrest, and again, I have my thoughts on that, and my confidence in that is very strong. But again, I'm going to leave it out there as this is the possibility of it. And if it is true and it's going to happen, then it's got to involve the military, guys. And so a lot of good things to come, guys. Stop, worrying. Stop doing nothing. Keep praying. Do something in your local community. Be prepared to talk to it, because a lot of people, they're stepping back. They're having doubts. People honestly are tired. And so I'm here to give you hope in that the Lord has this. Evil does not triumph, guys. God triumphs. And so we're in a good time, guys, a good season. More to come, but it's not without the fight of the enemy, without Satan, with all of the minions and these different people doing what they have to do to try to stay alive and stay dominant. But they will fall, guys. So God bless you guys. More to come. Talk to you guys very soon.